Good morning, everyone. Good morning. First, we're going to start it out with watering this part of the garden. I watered all of the trees and everything already. So we're going to walk back to the other part of the garden and check on it this morning and see what our garden has been doing. And you see, it's about time for me to pick some beans. It is full, looking amazing. Take a peek through there and look at those green beans hiding up in the bushes there. Yeah, let's see what we got going on this morning. Last night I spoke it to myself, so I'm in expectancy that when we walk up back into the garden this morning, we're going to see some other amazing things. So let's see what's going on out there. And I'm going to put some water on this back here. Uh, and our rooster's singing this morning, loud and clear. They saying, good morning, y'all. Y'all heard them. They say, good morning. We on the way to the garden. Thank you very much. We going back to the big garden to see what's happening out here this morning. I don't know. I just felt like after yesterday in the garden, we was gonna come back here and we gonna see some nice things happening back up in here. Now let's start with the beginning. This is our broccoli over here. You know, they small and little, but you can see them growing and coming on in. Real nice. They still babies. But remember, our garden over here is in representation of what we're doing in life and are we growing? And we gonna say absolutely we are growing. Over here we got cabbage. You see they're in little spots, but you know with cabbage, if you get enough of them to grow in one spot, you can always separate them and put them in their own little space alone. But for most part, I see I have them in each space that I want them to be in. And with a little bit, we gonna have to separate some of them, but they doing pretty good. Now here, you see our black-eyed peas. They looking very, very nice. And this morning, I turned on YouTube this morning to just see, what, as a content creator, what's going on, you know. And one of the first things I pulled up this morning was to see that the bridge in Baltimore um, had fallen. I have family there. So, of course, the first thing in my mind, good morning, Latrice. Hey, Shawanda, I ain't seen you in a minute. You inspired me to get out in my garden and grow food. I know that's right. Grow, grow, grow. Grow something. I love to hear that I'm inspiring somebody to grow something. All it takes is that one thing for you to grow. And it almost like it's very contagious. But yes, please do grow. But and let it be a representation of what's happening in your life. When you grow, when you compare the two together, you want to get out there and make things happen because as you can see your garden growing, you growing along with it. But after I seen that some stuff had happened in Baltimore with the bridge falling. I have family there and in the area, and it scared the daylights out of me. I haven't heard from them in a couple of days or whatever. So I was like, oh God, let me get off of here and make a phone call. But anyways, that phone call ended up being very well. All of my family members are accounted for. Um, and after I can give thanks for my family members being accounted for, then I instantly go to the place of somebody's family is not returning home. And so for that, my prayers go out to um, those families that didn't make it. So, but yes, this morning, here's my little squash our little squash that I showed you all yesterday that is now even a little bit more bigger. But good morning, spiritual bounty. Good morning. Um, but yeah, you see our squash and zucchini is open and they saying good morning to our people. Good morning to y'all. So um I came out here in the garden this morning with expectancy of seeing um something beautiful, and I have so much to be grateful for because um as you all can see in the garden is blooming, and so is things that I've been praying for and putting on the altar is growing in the same way. So I got so much to be grateful for because you all know that there's been some things had went on that I didn't see them changing no time soon, but God is good. um I can't wait until the weather breaks here in Michigan so I can plant my potatoes. So glad that your family is safe. Praying for all involved. Absolutely. We some other people was waiting on some a break in the weather, and you know what? With me, when it's cold still here, cold don't last that long here in Florida. But when it do get cold, it's like there's like an anxiety that happens on the inside of me, and like I'm so ready to get out in the garden and get everything going. Because in the wintertime, it's like that's your slow time. It's like you slow everything down because stuff is not growing like it usually do. So it's like you kind of get lazy in those times, and then when that time come back around and it's time for you to get it back out in the garden. And I know y'all don't see much on this row right here, but this is a row of okra that you can't really see them that well, both of them, because one, this is gray over here. You see a couple of them, other ones growing, but as they get bigger, you'll be able to see them. But there's an anxiety that go on the inside of me that I'm so ready to get out here and get it growing. And then sometimes I be thinking, girl, you started this stuff way too early, and before you know it, I got a whole bunch of stuff sitting on the inside of the house and everything that now I'm trying to balance where I'm gonna move this at and what I'm gonna do with this right here. These are our cucumbers. They are looking very good. They starting to reach out. And when you mean reach out, they get their little the little grabbers on it. They ready to grab onto anything. So I said I'm gonna have to push them in the right direction to lean on what they supposed to be leaning on. uh, well, after a while, and you know what? Everybody be like, "Girl, we ain't talking to you," because I ain't never experienced snow before. So I always be like, I wanna, I wanna play in the snow. And when it snow, my sisters be so annoyed with me. She is like, "Girl, I'm telling you, you overrated with this snow thing." Good morning, Elijah. You overrated with this snow thing. Snow is not all that, and I promise you, if you live in that, then you gonna be ready to go. But look at that. See, we have ground mold tomato plant. I don't know, But these are our tomatoes, and I always say ours because us over here, when we in here together, this is our garden together, and it's a representation of where we going in life. How we growing. So you know, we got tomatoes and plenty of them. Some of them I made a mistake and beat them up with the water yesterday, but you'll see they'll bounce back. They'll bounce back and do their thing. Here's a couple of okra that you all can see very well. They just happen to grow in that place right there. So I was like, welcome to the family. You get stragglers every now and then that come up in different places. And I guess I've made it where you all can see the tomatoes even better this morning because they in those, they in the wet spots in the soil. Love me some cucumbers with salt. Girl, Shawanda. I was just talking about that yesterday. See, make my mouth water even thinking about it. Cause I'm the queen of making a whole bunch of cutting up all the cucumbers from out here and putting them all in bowls and make them soak in the vinegar and the salt and pepper. And then I pass them out to the family after they done marinated real good. So then when they grab onto them, I'm good. I show up at people's job with them and deliver them to them. But I love doing the girl. You got my mouth watering just thinking about it. Hush on them. Yes, but oh, I mean they taste so good. That's the only way that I eat cucumbers. I asked somebody on here yesterday, how do you eat your cucumbers? And then let me show you. We got a couple of flaws out here. You see that one right there? She ain't making it. She shriveled up, but I ain't lost all hope in her yet because a tomato is a resilient plant. But we'll see. I think our next thing is we're gonna have to come in and clean around them. Right now I'm working on cleaning in between the rows because I give them, that extra TLC. Send me some to Michigan. Okay, then we're gonna have to figure out how to get that right so we don't have the whole post office and everything smelling like salt and vinegar tater chips. So we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna wrap that plastic up and get you some organic fresh cucumbers in the mail. Good morning, binge thinker. I was just talking to my sister about you this morning. And it was all good. Yes, I tell her how I feel like you and you when I see your name, there's encouragement. So you was a part of my conversation this morning on the phone with my sister. Good morning, Miss Coffee. Good morning. But yeah, this is our other row. These are actually our oldest tomato plants. This tomato plant looked like it was being eaten up yesterday by whatever, whether it's a worm or whatever. And we don't play with worms over here. So, and this one right here also, but you can see after a little bit of TLC yesterday, they popping back out and doing their thing. But these are our oldest ones here. I know it was one over there that looked like it was an older one, but not. These are some citrus something that we ate. Well, these were cara oranges that we ate. And anybody growing anything, if you plant a seed from any kind of citrus, whether it be a lemon, or orange, or grapefruit, you're not guaranteed to get what it was that you ate. You could get either of the one. It'll be a citrus tree, so we don't know what we growing right here, but it's growing. It is growing. The new live setup. What happened? What happened, Miss Coffee? What you don't like? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it go. That's where you put. That's where you put the mail. Yes, it's like being stuck. Being. Yeah. What happened? What's up with the new lives? Because I can't really see. But one thing that I do feel about this whole situation, is I can get if I come through StreamYard, and maybe somebody on here can tell me if I come through StreamYard. I don't get views with 16,000 subscribers. I don't get views if I come through StreamYard for whatever reason. But then if I come on just through YouTube, then I can get views. I just don't even understand it. So, I told y'all I'm trying to work it out because I'm just used to doing the shorts and everything until I get into get more comfortable with doing the lives and everything, which is happening. Um, but I don't know why that is. Sometimes you can't type, read the chat, or like the video. Yeah, I know. I know somebody was saying something about if you want to do some of those things, it's about the three buttons. These three buttons are something that you can, because I can see too. I don't get that many likes on any of my videos. I see people watching and everything, but I don't get that many likes either. And I don't know how it works. So I'm gonna ask questions along the way, and maybe somebody can help me out with it. We still don't have that many. Well, we don't have any loofah. We have, except for that one pretty one right there. And so we don't know what's going to happen with those because I planted all that I have. So I'm just going to trust the process. Look at there. And see, I'm running my mouth and I just happen to look down here and I see something peeking up that I didn't see is just coming up. Look, y'all. That's another loofah right there. That's loofah number 2. So, alrighty then. We ain't doing so bad. We got 2 so far. We got 2 so far. Um, Let me go back. Um, sometimes you can't think. YouTube needs to rethink this. Yeah, I don't really know this because I just started coming live like this way versus going through setting up a live and coming through StreamYard. So I don't know. Good morning, Corinne. How you doing this morning, boo? Happy birthday. Hey, Chicken Poo. That was one of my moderators' birthday is growing with Hudson. It was her birthday yesterday. So that's where the birthday wishes went out to her yesterday. So I'll give that as happy birthday, growing with Hudson again. So that's what it is. I noticed 300 in a chat and 2 views. Is YouTube hold on? And yesterday they were saying on here that it was something wrong with the view counts and everything. And I'll be wondering that if it's something and it ain't showing accurately what your views was and everything, then how do they actually know what to give you after they get it back? Just my thoughts. Not that I really want to sit in class and learn about it because computers really ain't my thing, but just a question if I could get somebody to explain it and break it down to me, then I'm just, I'm good with that. But I don't know what's going on. Um, what's loofah for? Okay, loofah is like sometimes you can get a loofah sponge, the base with it exfoliate your skin and stuff like that. But you can use them for so many things. I mean, you can use them just like you get a pot scraper. You can use your loofah as a pot scraper to scrape your pots. And here is our watermelon patch. We just started these seeds a week ago, and this is what our watermelon patch is looking like so far. And I think it's doing rather good. Um, so um, no, the loofah you can use to exfoliate your skin. You can use it actually if you get it like an attachment for like your toilet scrubber. You can attach the loofah to one of those, and instead of keeping like a regular toilet scrubber inside of your house, you can use the loofah, cut it in pieces, and you can use it to clean the toilet and just throw it away instead of holding on to something that's filled with bacteria. But I don't even know if it have a chance inside of my house because the little cup that hold the toilet scrubber, I have it filled up with bleach. So I don't know if nobody else do that. And every now and then I go in the bathroom and somebody be done kicked it open. Another opportunity to go ahead and mop the floor with the bleach that's sitting inside of the cup or whatever. But Yeah, that's my reasoning for wanting to grow loofah. You can use it, pot scrapers hold bacteria because it's the food what you scraping off of the pots be inside of like the harsh scrubbers or whatever. Instead of hanging on to it, you can use it because they grow plentiful and pretty big, and you can get a few loofah out of one. So out of one plant, one pod that grows. So there's a whole bunch of uses for it. So that's why I'm interested in growing loofah to do all of those good things with it. Oh, yeah, okay. You subscribe to Growing with Hudson. Good, good, good. Okay, I know this is a weird question. Ain't no weird question. But what? Yeah, see, there ain't no weird question. You weren't the only one that had a question about the loofah. But those are the things. It's like you can go in the store. Like the sponges that the bath sponges that you can buy. A loofah is made the same way basically as those things are. It's just something organic. You growing it yourself. You don't have to worry about what that stuff was made with, what was done to it. You can grow your own loofah. It kind of grows just like it likes the same thing as cucumbers, like and everything. And it's just you growing them on your own thing. And hopefully we growing them together and you're going to get to see, the process and, what they look like and everything. So far, I've only been successful enough to get one of them before, but this year we claiming something different. You see this whole line right here? That's why we gonna have loofah growing there, and eventually, as they start to grow, I'm going to put up because they grow up a net just like you would with the cucumbers and everything. So after a while, you'll see us start to cut, and I say we because my son them is the one they cut down the bamboo and stuff for me. And yes, we grow bamboo. I ain't never showed y'all that we grow a whole bunch of bamboo in my yard. So the bamboo, as you can see too, that my net for my cucumbers, that's what we made the net for my cucumbers with, is some of the bamboo from out of our yard. But also you will see too, we gonna use a whole bunch of bamboo because that's what we put the tomatoes up with, what we prop the tomatoes up with. We use, what they say when they about that hot sauce commercial. We put that on everything. And we gonna miss the S word this morning because I ain't in that mode of throwing out the bad words this morning. So I'm gonna keep it cute this morning. Um, okay, I didn't realize you could grow loofah. Makes sense now. Absolutely, it grows and it looks just like a cucumber, but only it's like a cucumber that's multiplied by maybe three or four according to the size that yours gets. But yeah, you can grow them yourself. You can buy them from people either organically, or you can bleach them to change the colors of them or whatever. But I don't want to do none of that stuff. I want it natural right out from the garden to use it just the way that it is. But yeah, and it's rather they charge you an arm and a leg up for it inside of the stores. So you know grow your own. And guess what? Every time one grow on the inside of it, they have 1,000 seeds inside of one loofah. So you can plant some more of them in abundance. So um I just knew loofah came from the ocean. Ooh, Benj think I thought the same thing too. At first, I thought it was something like a sea cucumber or something like that in the beginning. But who taught me about the loofah was and every time I get ready to say her name, Homestead Heart. She got a video on loofah, and her loofah is called Loofah Lane. And she was the first one that I seen because I would buy loofah from the store. We buy the bath sponges and everything like that right there. And she was the first one that I seen on here probably like 2 years ago. I seen her do it could have been 3 years, but she got a video over there about loofah. and her growing and then what all you can do with it and everything. And then that just broadened my horizons to hear her talk about it. So, those of y'all who don't know what it's about, go ahead and get you a couple of loofah seeds and stick them on in the ground. But they need something to trellis up on, but then you'll have your own supply of loofah. You don't need anybody you don't need to go and get none from the store. I know none of that right there. I love your banana and mango trees, especially Nene's tree. I know. Hey, we was talking about Nene's tree the other day, and how it represented a place in her life. Shalissa, that's me, is over there telling where she came from and how much she grew. Okay, we back. Anybody that knows, you can be in a very, very low place, and sometimes you have somebody telling you that you can't do nothing, you ain't gonna be nothing, you ain't gonna make it or no nothing. But if you have somebody who's standing in your corner and supporting you all the way, knowing that you can do better than what you're doing, and they stand on that and don't turn loose of you, um, you can make it. And my sister is a walking testimony of that. Grow, grow, and grow. So that we named that tree Nene, and I kept speaking to her over and over again that that tree is a representation of where she going in life. And after a while, honey, it stuck. It stuck. This is the growth that you're going to, and you're gonna grow, and you're not gonna stay in this place. And I kept speaking it and kept speaking it into her. And eventually, she started calling, asking, "Can I see Nene today?" So I started sending her pictures on a daily basis of what little Nene looked like. So here we have, and I told y'all I used to label my things, but we got a dog that he loved the labels more than leaving them alone and letting me be able to know what stuff is. So I just gave up that because I thought it was so pretty. Made me some fancy signs, name and everything or whatever. So I don't know which tree is which, but we know we gonna name them right now. One of them is a plantain, one of them is a banana tree, and the other one is an ice cream banana tree. I would like to say this one is the ice cream banana tree because it's just so small and cute. But child, that don't mean I'm telling the truth. That's just what I like it to know. So I don't know which one that is, but one of these is a plantain. It could be that little one that's a plantain, but I just know what they is. What one of them could be. This one right here, I thought it was on its last leg, but no, not at all. Um, um, the pig said good morning, y'all, to y'all him making they noise. Hey, hey, hey. They back there in they corner. Y'all can't really see them that good from right here, but they back there. But yeah, I said, let me come and do a walkthrough of what we have in our garden this morning and what we growing. And y'all see we still having growth this morning. So whichever thing that you're going through in your life, let this represents because this is our garden, the high class gardener's garden. We started this garden together. So whatever it is that you're going through in life, as you see these plants and stuff start to grow up, it's a representation of where you're growing to in the process that you in right now. And that means you headed in the right direction. And after a while, we're gonna harvest fruit from our labor. We're gonna harvest the fruit of our labor. Um, it's just the beauty of watching it grow that truly blesses my day. God is so good. You all don't even know it. It is a blessing to me when I see people say that they're encouraged to go and start something, to do something and everything. I mean, that blesses my soul. It make me go to bed at nighttime with a smile on my face. I just absolutely love to say good morning to you. I was just telling a little bit of your testimony about Nene, about little Nene. I love all the natural sounds that got a ASMR point blank period for myself that I just like listening to it too. And I can just sit down here to my table and listen to the sounds This is one of our other babies. We normally don't buy any plants or anything from the store, but I have had to purchase some bell peppers from the store the past couple of days, um, which I usually do not have to buy. So instead, I went and bought this plant. $10 for. I have bell peppers planted, but they sometimes they take their time doing whatever it is that they gonna do. So I seen this plant yesterday in the Tractor Supply, and I said I want to get me a pepper because they have blooms getting ready to come on here, and I just said $10. I can the plant will pay for itself in a little while once it gives me about 8 or 10 bell peppers off of it, then it's gonna be good. We actually got one that's back there by the pig pen, but my husband ain't too crazy about the one that's growing back there by the pig pen. So, and I haven't actually laid eyes on it my own self, but he don't want to get the fruit or whatever that's growing on it. But anywho, so I went at this my first time going to purchase any plant from the store. I usually don't purchase no plants. I only create what come from seed, and I keep my seed from those things and then replant them again. I started all of my bell pepper plants with bell peppers that I got from the store by just getting them. And every time I cut a bell pepper open, I get them and sling them out in the yard, like Miss Yo Thought said. You ain't gotta be fancy with no gardener. You get you a thing of seeds. You can take them seeds and sling them across the ground. I guarantee you, it's gonna grow something. Now, I challenge any of y'all that's in here, if you ain't never grown nothing, go get you a pack of seeds and sling them on the ground and watch what Miss Yo Thought said come true. Throw it down on the ground. I even challenge you ones that living inside the snow right now. Cause you know what, a seed is a immaculate thing. You can throw it down on the ground and it can be froze up under that snow. But when that snow thaw out and it start to warm up, you can guarantee that seed gonna pop out. Let it be a representation of where you're going in life. You want to grow, you got a destination you trying to get to, you got a piece of property you trying to put your hands on, you want to grow something, you want to do something else different inside your life or whatever. Let your garden be a representation of that which you want to do. And as you see it grow, let it be encouragement to yourself that I'm actually growing, and growing in several different ways. Let your garden speak to you. Let it be your inspiration. Good morning, Shalissa. We talking about everything, but right now we just talking about the growth, and we were talking about, how you um telling the stories about where you came from and all the things that you've been through, but nobody don't know from the place that you've come from, how much you have grown, and especially to put that tree on top of you. Because once that tree got on her, I can't even tell y'all. The girl went to the school and everything. She was fighting against that and everything, and I don't even want to tell her whole testimony, but God is good. Let the garden be an inspiration to where you go. Look at Miss Coffee, say, "Hey, Oreo." Oreo, Miss Coffee said, "Good morning." He probably back there saying, "Okay, okay." He be talking when I put the camera in front of him. Hello, Shalissa. Love your tree. Um, where do you place the chicken poop when feeding your garden? Not around the root of the plant. Anywhere that's on the outside. So when you're watering, the water will rinse it down into and give it a little bit of feeding. So which means every time I come out here and turn my sprinklers on, my plants being fed a little bit more every single day. So that's what I do. And what I do is I put this pile right here is the last of the mulch pile that I have, and I usually have 6, 7, or 8 of them. But right now we only have this one, and this is all that's left because I like to cover my ground in my garden and stuff. So I'm just kind of like hanging on to this because the next thing that I feel like I'm anxious about putting mulch around, I'll go ahead and use it then. But I'm like waiting for people to start cutting trees, which they do a lot here in Florida during the summertime. When they get close to hurricane season, they send trucks through to trim the trees and everything because hurricane season, Florida gets a lot of damage and stuff. So they be trying to spare a lot of stuff. So I'm waiting on one of those trucks to come around because they always looking for somewhere to come and dump those wood chips and stuff at so that they don't have to pay upwards of $100 to go and dump something there. So I usually take those wood chips and put them inside of my chicken pen to recover their floor. The chickens will turn it over, they will poop on it, and they will turn it also into soil because wood chips break down into beautiful soil. They add amenities to your soil and everything. So I usually put some in and I take some out and I just put it right around not touching the plant but close to it, so I know that it rinses in the root. Like some of these plants, see like how I planted the squash and zucchini. You see that the row going down the middle of it? I would usually take the hoe and go down the middle of it and draw a line. And in that line, I will fill the whole line in the middle with chicken poop. It's not touching the plant, it's not against it, on no nothing. But every time I go to wet it, it will rinse it down into the soil, keeping your plants beautiful, stretching out their wings, growing really, really big. So that's how I use my chicken poop, just as long as you don't let it touch your plants. And it can be very, very hot if you mess around and put it somewhere close. So no matter what you do, if you're going to use chicken poop to do fertilizer, please do your research because it can have the opposite effect. If you if you use it in the wrong way, it can burn up every plant you got and you won't have nothing in your garden. So, but it is such an organic fertilizer and we have it here in an abundance. But what I discovered the other day, which I went out yesterday and I bought some fertilizer because now I realize since we haven't had wood chips in a while, I'm starting to scrape the bottom of my chickens' pens. So I want them to have what they need inside of there. So I say, let me just go and spend some money on myself because I do try to stick with using every and anything that I already have here versus going to the store and spending money on stuff. Um, hey, Mika, Malika, Sonny, Mika. We gonna go with Mika. Good morning to you. Um, oh yes, that's me. How my life is definitely looking. New growth and abundance is coming in for me. Amen to that. Yes, peppers be on their own time. It's spiritual bounty. You are absolutely correct. I mean it. 1 minute like you don't see nothing there, and it's like you waiting 8 weeks. And listen, I know I've known people that they're trying to grow with me, and then I'll get 500 phone calls. These peppers ain't doing nothing. These peppers ain't. And I used to be the same way when I first started gardening. It's like if I see something ain't working, honey, I'll be done took that soil and dumped it out of there and planted something else in there with it because I'm thinking it ain't working. So I get rid of it only for you to realize now it's growing in the spot where you just got rid of the soil and it's growing two or three other things in the pot with it because you done got impatient. So you have to give it some time. The same thing with strawberries. Strawberries are on their own time too. They come when they ready to. But once they do come, I'm telling you, they are worth the wait. Chicken food. Um, Let me see. I don't know why Miss Coffee said the chicken food, but I'm probably see it. I planted my cabbage yesterday, and I planted a potato that had roots all over it. I'm turning into a high class gardener. Yes, girl, you're a high class gardener, even though you don't got nothing planted over there. Cause I told you we growing in all different kinds of ways over here, not just in the garden, but the garden. You put the garden there so you can see the representation of. Cause sometimes some things you going through can tell you that you ain't growing, you ain't doing nothing. But is that real? Is that the reality of it? No, it's like this is like the encouragement. If you can take this garden and tie it to your life, it will be the encouragement to let you know you're growing. It will speak to you and say that to you. Every time you walk out into that garden, it will say, we growing today. And it will actually show you that we growing every single day. So um let me see. Oh, and that's another thing. And Shalissa talking about the cabbage, I talked about it too. I always talk about stuff that you get out of the fresh food section in the garden. If you buy cabbage from the grocery store, you don't need a seed for your cabbage. I have taken a cabbage that I bought from the grocery store, and I just don't. When I'm cutting the cabbage up, I just don't affect the core of the cabbage. That part that's humped out on the bottom of it when you first buy it, you can take that part and sit it in water, and you will see the roots come back out on that cabbage. It will put out cabbage leaves. I even had one that grew 3 more cabbage heads on it. So you already paid for the cabbage already. Why not replant it and regrow it? Your onions. When you buy onions from the grocery store, you can cut the hairy part off of it at the bottom, leaving a little bit of the flesh towards the bottom. Sit it in some water, let some fresh roots come out of it, or you can put it in a Ziploc bag into the refrigerator and let it sit in there. It will start to grow the roots. When you see the white roots growing on the bottom of it, come stick it out in some soil. That one onion will grow you 4 more onions, sometimes 3 onions. You can't lose. Don't go and buy no seeds. Use what you already have in your house to start your garden. And once you start to see it, honey, you can't. Hey, what they be saying about once you go black, you never go back. No, once you go and put that plant in that soil and you see it, honey, you won't go back from that. You'll be so excited. And as that onion grow, the little green top on it that grow, you can cut that off and go and cut it up, and you can use that just like the onion while your onion growing. So there's so many different things that you can do, um you know growing in the garden with just the stuff that you buy from out of the grocery store. I'm happy to watch this. I'm a gardener, but depression is trying to stop me this year. And honey, listen, after this right here, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna keep on happening like that. Okay, you going out into your garden, just letting you know the thing comes up because it wants you to be able to stay there. I too have suffered with depression. I still do suffer with it from time to time. But what I do, you have to move around it. Start to do things that counteract the depression. Don't just lay there in it. You can lay in it for a day or two or so, whatever. But when you notice it's starting to go on, you have your garden there to remind you, okay, I got my garden to go and take care of. And when you walk out in your garden, you know depression is your thing. Get you a piece of post-it note. Put it inside of a sandwich bag, and on the outside in your garden, let it be a pink piece of post-it note. Put it inside the pink inside of a clear sandwich bag or something, and stick it on something out in your garden. When you walk out in your garden and you see that pink piece of paper, it will remind you, I rebuke depression in the name of Jesus. And just keep on walking by, or whatever it is that you believe in, because I don't want nobody to just come in and think that this is what I have to believe in. No, because I'm not a real religious person, but I do absolutely believe in relationship, and my relationship is with Jesus. So whoever your relationship with, let it be, because I'm not here to um dictate who you should be with, or whatever you feel is good for you, let it be that. But let that pink paper be a reminder of you that you're going to do something different. Depression is going to change. This garden is going to represent no more depression. And as long as you keep putting yourself in those positions, depression is going to lose. Because when you change, everything about you has to change, and everything around you has to change with you. So that's just a tip. And I'm not telling you about your story, I'm telling you about my story and the things that I use that help me get through certain things when I go through. And now YouTube is a different thing that's helping me get through some of the things that I'm going through. But Malika, take out of whatever it is that I just said to you, and use whatever it is for you that felt like it encouraged you. But over here in the high class garden, it won't work. And I already know, just you being here and you speaking, that somebody in here, you done had two or three people together and I already said a prayer over you. Depression has already lost. How do you keep the animals back? Well, let me answer that one part right there. I really don't try to keep the animals back. I just try to plant more than enough so that, because eventually you're going to share with them. We got squirrels around here that's like baby kids over here, and they be doing whatever they want to do sometimes. But we just try to like plant more than what we looking for, because we know some of them gonna come through and do some things. And now we got a gopher turtle that come through every now and then or whatever, because he could be the one eating on the tomato plants or whatever. But if it becomes a really huge problem, then we have to figure out some things. But so far we haven't had a real big problem. The only thing we have a problem with is here lately, the um something's been eating on my strawberries, but I have them in a different place than what we use. But it wasn't so bad, because this morning my daughter came out here and picked her own strawberries for breakfast this morning. So um it's still working out good. So you have to share with them sometimes. We have deers too. We have rabbits, and we don't got no normal size rabbits around here. We got rabbits that look like dogs around here. They so big. I never knew rabbits grow that big. But we do have those kind of things around here. Just the deer usually be out here, but we haven't had them because like the dog, we had dogs in the yard. We had three dogs, and two of our dogs have recently passed away. So um they may start coming back and visiting, and it is beautiful to come out here in the morning and see the deer out in the backyard just walking around and stuff like that. But we haven't seen them in a while, but they still here in the neighborhood. So far we ain't had any of those issues like taking us out. But the squirrels is tripping. Grand Rising Ikeas. Good morning, Misunderstood. Good to see you. What's up, TMB? We out in the garden. um I'm up off I'm up off the recliner transplanting my peppers. I appreciate it. All right. See Mika, already. Depression on loss already. You got up off of that chair and you went out to your peppers. Do whatever reminds you to get up and go and see those things. When depression trying to take over, find your thing. I don't care if you put post-it notes, all pink post-it notes all over your wall, reminding you every day. It's little simple things like that can remind you to snap out of those places. You don't have to stay there. But depression wants to win. It want to keep you in those places. But find those little things that remind you of those things. If you got to stick one in every room to remind you, to be a reminder for yourself, do that. Take out of it and apply whatever it is to get you through at those times. Dropping the grand off, she did me. Yeah, she had you going last night. So but we all done started off from some place, and they always say is uh you have to crawl before you start to walk. Come as a baby. Anything that I don't know what I'm doing, I'm coming in as a baby. When I came on here on YouTube, I came on crying like a baby. It's because I am a baby and I'm going through some stuff. And right now I'm trying to free me. So I'm going to come on here and talk and do whatever that sets me free. People say they're going to eat you up on the internet. Then go ahead and eat me up for dinner. I can stand to lose another 100 pounds. Would be great. Go ahead and eat me up. But right now I'm interested in freeing me, bettering me, growing me. And anybody that want to go along that journey with me and growing, I absolutely welcome you to come and join growing together. That's what I'm interested in. I got people in here that's interested in let's talk about I, see, I'm not a person. I grow and I grow all of the time. Now y'all, let me just tell y'all what just hit me while I'm running my mouth, right? So I'm telling y'all about this one last pile of mulch that I got down here, right? This here. This one, let me back just a little bit so y'all can see how big this pile of mulch is. Y'all see that, right? So how about this? What I just came up with. It's sitting there all lumped up and nice, and it's the last that I have, right? But one year, I took me some sweet potato vines because I just said I wanted to see different ways that I can grow sweet potatoes. I only had only wood chips, nothing else. No dirt, no fertilizer, no nothing. I took those sweet potato vines and I laid them inside that pile of mulch. And let me tell you something. When you do sweet potato vines, you usually clip off the vine from the top of it and then you dig where you see the top where you cut it, the part where you cut it off at. I went to grab the thing to start pulling the vine, and when I yanked on one too hard, the potatoes started yanking up out of the mulch, honey. You talking about some sweet potatoes? So how about I'm just sitting here thinking, and y'all done helped me come up with. Let me go ahead and split this in the middle because I'm telling y'all I got a 5 gallon bucket with potatoes, sweet potato slips that I need to put somewhere. So I'm gonna put them here in this mulch pile. So look at them. That's what we gonna have us some sweet potato vines planted right in this mulch pile right here on this side. And I'll have to figure out how to run the vines up something. I'll put them on probably put another thing of some bamboo and a net here because I got a whole bunch of nets. My husband made sure that I don't know how many nets I got, but I know I got more than enough nets to put up more than what I need to put up. But yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do with it. And the only thing I do is have to keep it watered. But sweet potatoes grow very well in nothing but wood chips. Now I don't know about the wood chips from the store, the Home Depot, and the big box stores and none of that stuff like that. This is just wood chips where a company that went out and cut down the tree and they ran the stuff through the wood chipper and then they drop it off here. All natural. Grow some absolutely no, I didn't amend no soil, no nothing. I didn't put anything extra into it. And I had beautiful sweet potatoes. And everybody knows sweet potatoes are good for you. They fill you up, all of that good stuff. So if you don't have anything else to grow or to eat in your yard, it ain't gonna be nothing like being able to go to certain parts. And I'm not only gonna plant them here, I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna stick them in the ground everywhere around the yard, on the even areas where I can forget about them. Because if the whole yard turn into a sweet potato garden, that'll be fine with me. So, the sun and nature are antidepressants. All amen to that, bench thinker. You are absolutely correct. When I come out here and let the sun shine on me, even to break the sweat, to come out and sweat from the sun. I mean, it is so rejuvenating. Don't be scared to come outside and sweat because that's what you have showers and baths for. Because at certain parts of the summer, like last summer, there were days that I would be out here and it would be very hot and I'd be done sweated so much. I done turned a different color out here sweating. um like your lips get pickled after you eating vinegars or pickles or salt and vinegar chips or something like that. My skin actually do that after I've been out here in the sun sweating all day. So there's times I'll go inside of the house and take a shower and sit down and rest for a little while and be right back out here. Last summer I was out coming back and forth out here. I've taken 3 showers in a day because I thought I was finished out here with what I want to do. But the garden be calling me. And I like that it called me because it called me from all of the problems and stuff that I'm having. And I can come out here and dig in this soil, do what I got to do. And I can brush it all off. I can brush it back off, shake it off, slump it off right out here in the sun and in the garden. So, um, your garden lives are peaceful. Thank you very much, Benj. Thanking and see, then you have. I come here and I just think, girl, And then, this is the way my mind talked to me, because my mind been talking to me like that for a long time. Those of you who know, my beginnings were not great beginnings, but my beginnings were what made me the person who I am right now. So my mind comes out here and says to me that these people ain't studying nothing about your garden or know nothing about that. They don't care. But then I also put into myself, it ain't about the people, or they don't have to care about what it is that I'm doing. But for people to say those things is like encouraging for me to keep on moving or whatever, because really my garden is not about what everybody else think about me. My garden was what it is to me before I came here on YouTube. I just decided to start sharing my life and the things that's happening to me with YouTube. So those thoughts have always came as like, hey, child, ain't nobody studying about that. But listen, I don't have any shortage of whenever I have friends and everything come through, which I don't hardly ever have them, but I love coming to walk them through the garden to show them, what it's doing. And I love that it can be so contagious. I love that it's so contagious. I was like, my godmama, I started her off and I was just like talking to her about what I do, like how my chickens give us eggs every day and everything. And she was like, oh. And I just kept talking to her about it, kept talking to her about it. And I was like, I hope I ain't driving you crazy with talking to you about this garden and stuff. And she said, child. She said, you bringing back memories of when she was a child, right? She in her 70s. So, and this another thing too. One day I was going to this was my first time incubating chickens. So I told her about it, and then the chickens hatched and everything, and I had showed them to you, and she was like, "Oh, they so cute." And so we did that. I sold some to my neighbors and stuff like that. And then one day out of the blue, my godmama called me and she was like, I want some chickens. I say, oh, you do? She said, I think I want three of them. She want two hens and a rooster. So I took her that. She built her pen. We took the I ain't mean to turn y'all all green, even though we is out in the garden, but let's okay, there we go. There we go. Um I she got her chicken pen built and everything, and we went out to I took the went and took the chickens to her. And when I tell y'all, from that point forward, it's just like she been growing, growing, growing. Her chicken pen was one thing 1 minute, and now it's her chicken pen done grow bigger. She done started her little garden out there. That type of stuff, I get so excited when I go and see how people have grown into their garden. I really do get excited, and you can see that, like the laughter that's on her face and everything when she talking about her garden and how the food that she get from out there, how it tastes, how she can go out and pick her greens, and anytime you got that auntie, that godmama, or someday in their 70s and everything, collard greens is a big thing on when it comes to Sunday dinner and all of that, there's stuff like that. But it is so exciting to see that how she's starting to grow back to that, and it's reminding her of like things she had in her childhood, and all of that stuff. So those things make me very, very excited about the garden, and to just point blank period see people grow, period, growing in the garden. But this over here is life with Tashanna, where we believe in growing. We believe in growing food. We believe in growing in life. Point blank, period. Growth, growth, growth. But we also are the high class gardeners. And that just means the high class part. We don't mess with no bugs, no worms, no snakes, and no none of that. We got other people that handle those things for them. And we don't spray that funny stuff on our food and stuff to, you know, yeah, we don't do all of that, but we make sure we're growing, and we make sure that our garden is a representation as to where we're going and growing in life. And what it is that you put into the ground is what you're going to harvest. So over here, we planting the stuff that we want to be able to harvest. That means even walking in your life, be careful of what you plant because you reap whatever it is that you sow. So make sure if it's a strawberry you want to grow, and you want to harvest, don't plant no cabbage seed because they taste real different from each other. So um just remember to grow. That's all you got to do. Keep getting up every day and remember to grow from whatever situation you in. Don't let nobody prevent you from doing that. Get up and water yourself every single day. Get up and fertilize yourself once a week, whichever way that means. How do you fertilize yourself? You have to know inside of your own self. How can I fertilize myself? That means pouring into yourself, putting something into yourself. Don't allow people to come in and take more from you than what you have. Let it be like a bank account. If you got people that's coming to you and they constantly withdrawing from you, and you ain't never getting no deposits, you're going to come up with an insufficient fund. So start focusing on you and your growth and watch how you grow. So you all, I want to say, because I got some other things that I need to do today. I need to go out and do a couple of things or whatever. And so, I'll be on here with y'all 2 or 3 hours just talking, talking, talking. But I definitely enjoyed our talk this morning, and I hope um, that I've encouraged somebody, and anybody you see that you should send one up for that was in here. And I also want to say prayers up for the construction workers and stuff that was lost on that Baltimore bridge incident. Prayers up for their families, and hopefully they can get in contact with everybody who need to get in contact with, you know um and for those that were hurt, speedy recovery. But I appreciate y'all again for being here. And if you can find out how you can like the video, subscribe, share. Even if you want to put a thumbs down, go ahead, you did your thing. And I appreciate that. But thank you for sharing your morning with us, Shauna. My pleasure, Shawanda. It was good to see you up in the building again too. My husband was on that bridge hours early. Oh, woo! See, Mika, you see your day started off with mine because it could have been different. It could have been so different. Jesus Christ. Mm-mm-mm. See, just then when you said that, that made me feel the feeling of me coming on and seeing it on here, and I hadn't heard from my sister and my niece and stuff. Instantly scared me. And usually I can't get a hold to my sister because she's military and she's all. But just so happened this morning, God had her in place where she was able to answer my phone call, because if she had not answered that phone, I don't know where my morning would have begun. Y'all probably would have been having a different conversation with me on this phone this morning, on this phone call. We're going to call it a phone call this morning. I was so grateful that she was able to pick that phone up and just say, "No, we fine, sis. We fine." So there you go, Mika. You got this. Start thinking about the things you have to be grateful for and watch it starve out the depression. Watch it starve it out. You'll have little bouts with it, but after a while, you'll see it won't be so heavy as it was before. You'll get a grasp on it. Shake it off and keep your reminders in front of you, whatever that is. Keep your reminders. You're greater than the depression. You're bigger than the depression. See, something, and let's just call it the devil. The devil knows that there is greatness there for you. He know. So if I can keep her depressed, she'll never reach her full potential. But we gonna close it out and say, the devil is a liar. And we know he is. So I'm gonna say you all carry on your day and have a blessed one. I may be back on later on today, later on tonight. You know, you never know what you're gonna get with Miss Shauna, because Shauna be all over the place. And so according to how the rest of the day goes, or whatever I see later on in the day I hear that changed in the garden, you know I have to bring y'all along with me to see what's happening in our own garden out here. Yes, we do. We are the high class gardeners over here, and we gonna be happy about every little thing that pop up out here. That's what we gonna do. Growth. We growing together. So y'all have a amazing day. Actually, I'm claiming it for y'all. Y'all day is going to be amazing. So we signing off. Go dig in some dirt, high class gardeners. No worms, no snakes, and no bugs. In real life, leave the snakes behind. Y'all have an amazing day. I shall talk to y'all later.